Jonesy, a fantastic weekend of racing, and you know what, mate? What makes it even better is we've got a little pot with our good friends at Ned's this weekend. I cannot wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it, mates. We did well for the punters and drifters last time, so hopefully we can get that done again. Super easy, just jump on your Ned's app and you'll see it in bright, shiny lights. The Underwood Stakes Day, so Rupert Clarke Stakes Day pot. Cannot wait. Some great racing, mate. Some good sport. Going to be a hell of a weekend.
Yeah. God bless Seeples and the Brisbane Lions. Gamble with Ned's this weekend. Join the pot. Follow us in and gamble responsibly.
But what is gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside in Bob, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switch on the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Well, where do I begin? There was a contrasting, I guess, depiction of efforts yesterday. There was the efforts of the equine variety, which, if we're talking to it from a punting perspective, were mixed, which is probably the nicest way of framing it. Then you have that of the, let's quickly indulge again, 3 straight grand finals for the mighty Brisbane Lions. How good is it just to be a fan of the mighty Lions, mate?
Mate, it's just a privilege and a blessing. Like, how fucking good. 3 years in a row, making it to the GF is such a shift. Like, that's a big shift. And I feel like that each year's had a vastly different flavour.
Rich flavour.
Yeah, vastly different Daniel Rich flavour. The first year was like, when they made it against Collingwood, it's like, okay, about time. Like, you've been building up to this for a while. Close game, could have won. And then last year felt like they were written off so many times throughout the year. Like, they were dog shit up until halfway. And then, I feel like they were riding a wave of momentum that was just impossible to stop last year. Whereas this year, if they lost that game last night, you would have been disappointed, but you would have thought to yourself, considering the year they've had, what a shift. But they just keep finding, and players just keep standing up.
Hardest draw in history. Probably, actually, and it's been their positive, which has gotten your likes of Lachie Neals, your Lincoln McCarthy's, your Joe Danaher's to the club in the first place, is the attrition has been so strong for such a long time. Whereas this year, decimated by injuries in some really key positions. You have Jack Payne go down with a knee. You have Eric go down recently, not Lockie, with a calf. You have Lincoln go down with another knee. You have Kitty Coleman not return. So there is some absolute threats not on the field. And then you have, I think I heard Fake say this, 5 teenagers in the side.
That's crazy.
Something like that. Like, if it's not 5, it's 4. It's like, and then I said to you, and I might have said it on this podcast after losing to Geelong, a forward line of Logan Morris, Ty Gallop, and an underperforming Charlie Cameron won't win a premiership. Well, let me just do a big 180 on that, bruh, because Ty Gallop has turned into one of the best key forwards in the league in 6 quarters.
Brother has a set of shoulders broader than a swimmer's.
Honestly,
he's going to be an absolute unit when he fills out.
As Fag said in the post game, I think we've found another player there. So, unfortunately for Eric, I think you might be trade bait, bruh. So it's like,
unlucky.
Yeah,
bruh.
it's just, and I think the winner of this game, this grand final, they basically have the right to say we are the most dominant club in the 21st century, because I think both teams are on 4 premierships. It was the big four were the last 4 teams in the finals, and I think it's rightfully the best 2 teams all year face off again. And I think shout out for Jared Berry, but he was optimistic that he'd play. I think it's a straight swap for Lockie by all reports. But
Bruce,
mate,
Bruce
I think
has to be the sub.
Yeah, well, Super Bruce. Oscar gets his opportunity. Darcy Gardner gets his opportunity to win a flag. It's going to be bloody tough. But up until I think Geelong played their best game of the year against us a couple of weeks ago, we probably underperformed, but still played okay. Definitely got lucky with some umpiring decisions, what have you. But like I saw in the post game, Cam Rayner had influenza during the week and he kicked 2 goals. Like there's upside there. That's probably why he didn't go through the middle of the ground either. So I think him around the footy will be more influential. I think they would have learned a lesson there. So anyway, we could talk about this all day. To be honest, mate, I'd rather talk about this than the actual horse racing that happened yesterday, because it was an absolute fucking disaster. It was. From a punting perspective, at least. But yeah, it's incredibly exciting. And what I will say, I feel wronged and attacked, and frankly disappointed and let down by the shit people at Ticketek. Honestly, go fuck yourselves. It's like those guys and girls, that business is just an absolute shit show. So here's a text message I got. Thanks for registering your AFL Grand Final tickets. Your team is qualified, so please ensure that you have funds on your nominated card, as the ballot will be processed today. So I've looked in everywhere of where to do that. Cannot figure it out for the fucking life of me. Tried to go into my Ticketek account, personal details, my details, change payment options. That isn't even an option to do that. So, mate, it's been a absolute battle. I believe how the ballot works. I'm pretty sure the exact same thing happened last year. If we get access to the tickets, they are our tickets until we cannot pay for them. So, shit show. Fuck Ticketek. Been a frustrating morning, but flights secured, accommodation secured. Just the last piece, which I'm optimistic about.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them. It's just what happens. Yeah. We're heading down Drifters. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Obviously, if we secure the tickets. Manikato night on the Friday night too at the Valley, which we love. We love that meeting. Might be one of my favourites on the calendar. Yeah.
Scarce will be there, and do I dare say we have a Ned's hosted pot that night? After the performance of yesterday, for those brave enough to join us again. Let's get on to that, I would say, because I'm just going to have a look through these horses that we backed in that, right? So,
go.
Let's have a look. Let me get the form guide up. That would have been helpful. But I'm thinking you count your blessings. I'm thinking your Tupacaras. I'm thinking your Lord Penmans. I'm thinking your Yellow Bricks. I'm thinking your... who else did we back throughout the day?
Angel Capital.
Angel Capital. I'm thinking your... Just all of these horses, right? And it was a day, even your Vorbands, like all of these horses, like every single one of them had market support. Every single one. And if I was to have the bets again, I would. Which, and if I was to have a bet in play on the majority of them, I would have a bet in play. All of them had such a good run in transit. They were the market movers, and they just didn't fucking do anything. It's just, and it's very similar to what happened a few weeks ago. I feel like we kind of read the tea leaves. A lot of them were in the coffin. Some didn't get out, whatever. But a lot of them just didn't let down. It was just incredibly disappointing and disheartening. That's horse racing in a nutshell, right?
That's horse racing. I also see it as we're still net up across two pots. Like we're still net up about 20%. So like life's good in my opinion. And it looks like one of those days where like the favourites looked really likely, but there's not a lot of room for error when the favourites are looking likely.
Which is why we tweak this. Why we tweaked the staking plan as well, not trying to win 10, because we would have burned through the kitty even quicker than we did.
Randwick was a bit of a slaughterhouse. Melbourne, like that quaddie would have paid absolutely nothing.
You paid $40.
Yeah, there you go. It was $2.20 or $2.10 into $2. Into Seeples, who was $3.50 into $2.20 into $2.30. So, it was just one of those days, mate. It was disappointing for sure. So, apologies to all those who partook in the pot, but I guess you know what you're signing up for, or most of them know what they're signing up for when they give us their hard earned. But thanks for the opportunity. It was still fun.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's and I think, when you go 0 from 20, I think that you rightfully have some strongly worded feedback in there from time to time. I think that's fair enough. All love, in all is fair in love and war, right? So I think there will be a day where a Cox Plate-esque day from last year where we actually, between us, we tipped the card. And another day, like yesterday, you back the market movers, they get the perfect run in transit, they get good luck in the straight. Like,
you're winning
another day,
60% of your races.
Exactly. So, honestly, mate, I don't think I'd have too many bets back. Like, for instance, Cheerwolf, who we were texting about, he's had a bleed. So he's
has he?
Yeah, we won't see him again for 3 to 6 months or whatever the protocol is. Had a look through, like Dance to the Boom, for instance. Rachel King got rightfully inquired about the ride, because that was just puzzling to me on how the track was playing and how she started and then just snagged it back and then she was over racing. I wonder why, Rachel. And all in all, she finished okay. Tupakara, that was probably the one. I know you were keen on Apocalyptic, and my lesson is just back the winners. Winners win.
Yeah.
And especially in like those restricted grade, like 3-year-old races, because like the winners typically will continue to win, if that makes sense. Whereas Tupakara, how many times have we heard the saying, this is the best maiden in the country? And then they go on to win their first race like 18 months later.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a concern for me for Tupakara. She's hadn't won before, and she's racing against her own age, her own sex mostly, so that's a concern. But you can understand why the market was there for her. J-Mac goes on. She was going to get the perfect ride from a nice draw, and she's been racing well without winning. So I completely get it, and she got absolutely pumped in. But Apocalyptic's just a better horse, evidently, and that's nice to know after the fact. But you're right though. Like, so many other horses that we backed, like Yellow Brick as well. There was market support. Mate. He seemed to have every possible.
Honestly, and if it wasn't, and the thing is, right, I feel like it was a lot of races yesterday. It was like a knife's edge between 1, 2, or 3 horses for each race, right? So, for instance, Apocalyptic or Tupakara, they were the ones that we were really keen on. We probably weren't keen on With Your Blessing, but we were keen on Bazusto, who ran second, or Royal Patronage.
He blew out to like $9, Bazusto. I had a nice little nibble at that. I thought I was in there with a chance, to be honest. But
yeah. Like, even with Birdman staying in Sydney, I don't know, like, I was getting cold feet with Vauban big time before the race, and then as soon as, like, that race shape, I'm folded, I'm like, fuck me, I don't think he's going to win this. It was just one of those type of days, right? judgment, some judgment was off. I think these type of days where it's like not quite grand final day, it's a lead up, it's like a prep run. Results like that can happen where it's like, if it's not the favourite, it's the second or third favourite. Because that was some other strong feedback. It's like all these guys have been doing has been backing favourites. We were backing a lot of favourites. We said as much in the staking plan. But a lot of the horses we were backing were market movers into favourite as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was just one of those days, and I have no doubt we'll turn it around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can't be too hard on yourself. I think, both of us were just completely off the mark with a few horses. Like, I thought Private Harry was a Hulk and he was just going to come out and dominate the race, and he melted. So, I don't know if there's any feedback. Any feedback there. Birdman, I was, him and Vauban, I was like, but I thought the Vauban form was better leading into the race, and I knew Birdman was going to get back, but the race shaped out perfectly for him.
But even in the wash up of Vauban, right? Lindemann has nearly won the 7 stakes, so Delius has gone on to win the Underwood. Like, you can be forgiven for that form, not like that form held up. And I guess Birdman didn't come through that same form reference, but Vauban was the better run through it. But I guess if we were to identify Birdman again, Birdman was third up there. Maybe Vauban just had a bit of the second up syndromes, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. But, it's all good. I think the biggest one for me that I've analysed, obviously I look at Melbourne more than I look at Sydney, right? But was the Rupert Clarke, and I think I was keen on Angel Capital or Steeples. Like I said as much on the preview podcast, I said, look, it's one of these two horses. What I should have done was thought more about where they're going to get to in the run, and I knew the barrier for Steeples for me was just it's just so shit. Where does he get to? But then I should have thought more about, okay, who's the rider on Angel Capital? Who's the stable? From that gate, I know for a fact that he's going to be, and how he runs, he's going to definitely go back. We've seen Steeples be more prominent in the running. We know Willow with the lightweight and gate 16 is pretty much just going to be like, well, fuck, I've just got to chance my arm and go forward. He's won that race for the 8th time now, the Rupert Clarke. And for me, that I just watching it, as soon as it happened live, I just thought to myself, fuck, he's going to win this race. Dickhead, yeah. So that was the biggest one for me yesterday. And particularly if I tipped Steeples, I would have tipped every leg of the quaddie, because I was like, these favourites just win. Like, I think these favourites just win. I was confident that putting a quaddie on wasn't going to be worth it. But but at the same time, like, if we're putting $2.5, $2,000 on a horse in the pot to get back $5,000, like, your room for error isn't, like, even if you do jag 3 out of 4 legs of the quaddie, you're winning $15,000 for an outlay of $7,500. So it's not actually, it's not actually creating a meaningful impact. You need to be tipping the horses at $4 to $5 to really have a meaningful impact.
Yeah, which we definitely, I feel like we kind of
do it
disregard.
all the time.
Yeah, and we disregard the prices when we look at the form anyway. And it was just one of those days. That's where we landed. So I think let's put Sydney well and truly in the bin. The Sources had a fucking disaster there far this spring, so I have no doubt that the Sydney Source will turn around.
Absolutely,
as is his right.
Of course he will. Of course he will. And then the victim who started off the spring in an absolute heater will go to the shitter. It can never be both simultaneously.
No.
But yeah, lessons learned, which we're always learning, which is a good thing about this game. And it is what it is. But
it is what it is,
just
mate.
Focusing on Sydney, well, just I guess moving forward. Looking at each of those races, what are you taking out of each of those races from like a form moving forward perspective?
I'd say, Jolly Star was very impressive. I think she was the only horse you wanted to be on the entire run, really. Just an absolute J-Mac special when I'm not on. That's why me and J-Mac are not mates. Never will be. Never will be. Because he's obviously the best jockey in Australia. I just cannot fucking find him. When I'm really keen on him, like on Tupacar and Lorne Penman, it just doesn't. And it's not necessarily his fault. It's just not... It just works out that way. And so I think Jolly Star was awfully impressive, and, she'll only improve getting out to 1,200 metres if it's a good track in the Everest. Like, I think she has the turn of foot to at least be in the finish. Briasa, I thought he kind of had the run of the race, to be honest.
Yeah, he was solid. I thought he was a pass mark. He'll be better out over 1,200 metres for the Everest. But from what we've seen so far, I think Jolly Star, her best is better than what we've seen from Briasa so far.
I'd agree with that.
The biggest thing out of that race is Private Harry. Like, did you see him in the yard?
Yeah.
Bro's an entire. Bro's enormous.
He put on 60 kilos, which I don't think is actually a positive thing a lot of the time, because, and I think because say he weighs between 500 to 600 kilos, that's putting on like 10% body weight. Like that's pretty significant. And with these entires, you need to get a stack of work into him. So I think he will definitely improve from the run, but I don't think he's going to be featuring in the Everest after watching that. It's
you couldn't possibly back him with. No,
and
you
I think the stable and the commentary I've heard about the preparation, right, and horse trainers, the jockey, all the connections know far more than what we would, and this is just my opinion. But apparently he's had exhibition gallops, he's had like 3 trials, which is they've actually changed the prep from what it has been previously. They've even just taken him to the races to get that race day like experience again. And it's like, guys, have you just overthought this? Like,
maybe
just go back to the plan that works. We've seen it time and time again where I feel like the connections just try and overdo it. And it's like, guys, you got yourself into a position there in the first place. Just go with the plan that works. Keep the horse happy. Hope for the best, and hopefully you have a bit of luck.
Yeah, agreed. Matt Laurie did the same thing with Coleman leading into the Blue Diamond. Blue Diamond. You famously said it when he changed the gear a bit, tweaked the gear, and I think Matt Laurie would have learned a lot from that. Because he's now got arguably the best horse in the country and a really good colt in Vinrock now. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why they do that. Private Harry, you couldn't possibly back him in an Everest. Just having a quick look at the Everest markets now with people at Ned's, because I chucked on a bet on my Ned's profile yesterday in the wash-up of that race. And just with the caveat, drifters, that if a horse doesn't have a slot and you put a futures bet on it and it doesn't get a slot, you'll get your money back. So just keep that in mind. We've got Car Ying Rising at $1.80. Jolly Star, second favourite, with Lady Shenandoah, who both have slots at 7s. Briasa has a slot, 8s. Jimmy Star, 10s. Autumn Glow and Angel Capital both don't have a slot. Autumn Glow's 13s. Angel Capital is 15s. I highly doubt Autumn Glow is going to race here. I think Angel Capital's still a shout. I thought he was good enough yesterday from an impossible position coming back to 1,200 metres. I think he's a shout. But not at 13s, because there's a horse here who doesn't have a slot yet, who's the same price as Private Harry. And based on what she did in the run to the Rose, Tempted, likely to get the Godolphin slot. I had a nibble at that. If she doesn't get a slot, I'll get my money back. If she does get a slot, I don't think she'll be 15s, because she's the one for me who has the form doing that and has the upside to be better than all of the Australian sprinters. I think they're all running for second place, but if Car Ying Rising doesn't travel over well and he loses a couple of lengths, then Tempted's the one that could be of interest to me, probably alongside Lady Shenandoah, I think, as the local threats.
Mate, I think that's a great shout. I'm trying to see. I would have thought like 7 Horse Racing would have had like a grid with all the slot holders. Who's the slot holder that took Private Harry?
Yulong.
So my prediction is they go like, thanks, brah. Thanks for coming, brah. See you later. And they go with Angel Capital.
Yeah, that could happen. There's still a few slots left, so Angel Capital might get picked up by a different slot. But that wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if Private Harry ends up with bloody Chris Waller. But anyway, yeah, that's just what I sort of took out of the race. So I was like, well, that run by Tempted the week before, was of more interest to me.
Yeah, had the traffic wardens about it from last year, right? And honestly, like in probably the worst rating Everest ever last year, traffic warden with how he was going at the time, a bit of an unknown if he would have he probably would have melted in the high pressure of a race like that, but you never know, right? Getting a scratch at the gates. You
never know. Tempter's a daughter of Street Boss, just like traffic warden's the son of Street Boss. The only other one is Tentris, who I think had a bit of a track gallop at Mornington with Giga Kick over the weekend, maybe out of the Freedman stable. What are they doing with him? They're just saving him for a Coolmore, maybe.
I'd assume so. Because Everest is only three-ish weeks away. So it's getting, unless he, he's shown, he'd have to be kicking off this weekend, either at Manikato night or the next day. So wherever he goes, I probably want to back him first up. He'll probably be a short quote, but
3-year-old throbber.
He's just got a bit of aura about him about that. Yep. So, in what's quite frankly a dog shit age group. So, Godolphin have got the best of the crop, I think. So we'll see. I think you're right. Jolly Star probably the best. What I will say about Briasa is he does explode off a run, I feel. So I wouldn't be jumping off him quite yet. I think he definitely will improve out to 1,200 metres. So if you like him, he probably won't be in my numbers in an Everest. I think I would have, say, one of the 3-year-olds, Ka Ying Rising, obviously. And then I'm not jumping off Jimmy Star either. I think his first up run was pretty solid. And
he can put together some freakish sectionals.
Yeah, agreed. And, if he draws, say, like a barrier 7, he gets a slot midfield somewhere, getting the run the race sort of stuff, and they overdo it up front, then I feel like he has that really punishing turn of foot. So, that's where I kind of landed with it, mate. But I think, I think one of the owners of Jetabil has a slot. I don't think they'll be taking him. Fangirl was fantastic. Back to back. Linda Mann's in red hot form. The old boy. So, and he's going to give you a run for your money because of his tactical pattern as well. Cheer Wolf, obviously excuses with the bleed. But yeah, what frustrates me is like we both said that we wouldn't have a pot bet on Cheer Wolf, and then we did. So, and then we also said that we would put pot on Seeples, and then we didn't do that. So I don't know. We just need to stop over-analysing and just do what the juju calls for.
Yeah, agreed. They're the B graders in that 7 stakes at weight for age level for mine. But Lindemann, he's a good horse. I can't see Fangirl beating VR or Treasure the Moment or anything like that for the rest of the spring. Apocalyptic, I think she's a smart little filly. She's got her hoof firmly on the flight stakes because that 3-year-old crop isn't fantastic. So yeah, she was good. So that's probably Sydney, right?
Yeah, mate, that's it. And then I would have thought in, just have a look at. Sorry, Drifters, I'll be giving away trade secrets here. Flemington has their Derby trials today.
Oh, do they?
I like one in the first.
This is that day.
Yeah, number 8, the Autumn Bell, daughter of the Autumn Sun, mate.
Daughter of who is I think he's going to be the best sire in Australia in like the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I know.
He's just a freak, isn't he?
Yeah, mate. Have a little something at that. Yeah, jumps in 12
this day,
minutes.
don't you?
I've had some luck here. Miramasa, God bless him. At
bless him.
40. What was he? 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
I think it's like
I don't know.
$80.
Something like that.
It's like 80s.
Yeah, it was. Nice bank builder. That's for certain. Anyway, so but in Melbourne, mate. Let's not bury the lead here. Oof, Sir Delius. Is that one of the best wins you've seen?
Oh, in terms of off the canvas, yeah, for sure. Incredible win. He looked gone. Blakey Bill did an Antino on Buckaroo, and I thought he was going to win by 2 or 3 lengths. And I was kicking myself. I was like, "Fuck me, this is so annoying." But Buckaroo has won twice since he's set foot in Australia. Nonnies are non-winners. Sir Delius is a winner. Craig gave him a beauty. He never looked comfortable in the run. I don't think he liked that track, whether it was the firmness or the circuit. I'm not sure. He's got a bit of a head carriage on him. He's a bit keen. He does a lot of things wrong, and he was still able to win that race. What an exciting horse! 5-year-old Northern Hemisphere end tyre. Jeez, yeah, I'm a fan, big fan.
Oh, mate, like the thing that was so impressive about it to me is like, yeah, sure, he looked gone, but mate, he looked gone 3 times, and he just kept going. And he's like, "Nah, bro, you ain't getting past me." And he's landed up winning this race by half a length. Like, sorry, huh? Like, unbelievable sort of stuff. And I think I reckon the form will be questioned 100% because Golden Path's run 3rd by half a length. And I think at Way for Age, I think they're going to go like, "Ooh, don't know about that," but they've gapped the rest big time. So I think sometimes the ratings won't necessarily stack up, but for a horse that has, and you can tell he's an entire as well, just a big, thick colt who sweats, carries his head, does a ton wrong, but by gee, he's going to be in the money wherever he goes. And I hope they just go like, you know what? For this horse to really do his best work in a Melbourne Cup, we need him to have the best form reference for the Melbourne Cup, which is the Caulfield Cup. Because I'm sorry, brah, he'll be winning that by lengths. Lengths.
Oh, he's he's the class horse, and a common theme that we've seen in Australia. It's not happening every year, absolutely not, but more often than not, I've found in the last like 7 to sort of 10 years is the good weight for age horse, even if they're carrying a bit of weight, as long as they're not like the toppy. If they've got 56 kilos or 57 or something like that, the class is just going to get them there. It doesn't happen every time, but I feel like it's happening more and more often because so many trainers have, over the years, have just tried to look after these horses and get them in on a low weight and all that sort of stuff, but then you don't actually find out what's the bottom of this horse. Whereas these weight for age horses, you know where they're at. You can peg them against our best horses, and they might not be as good, but if they're a length off them, if they get a little bit of weight relief heading into these Caulfield Cups, Melbourne Cups, or whatever, it's going to be so hard to beat. I don't know if he's going to go to a Caulfield Cup. I have a feeling they're going to do like a Might and Power into a Cox Plate, and then take him into a Melbourne Cup. But I'd much prefer Caulfield Cup into Cox Plate into Melbourne Cup. That's so many more miles in the legs. Win a Caulfield Cup, just let him trot around in a Cox Plate, and then take him to a Melbourne Cup to peak again.
Here's a question for you then. Looking at the Cox Plate market, he's $5 with behind the Via Sistina at $250. Like, you have to, right? Treasured Moments 11s. I think
already got a futures bet on that. Please.
Yeah. So
when she brains him in the fan, she won't be $11 in the Cox Plate.
And that's the way you play futures markets, right?
Yeah.
But by gee, I'm
You're horny.
As soon as I saw that run in Queensland, I'm like, holy shit, this could be the best horse in Australia. And I think he's already stamped himself after 3 runs where he's easily top 5. Like, he's top the tree for our middle distance ranks, I would have thought. I'm talking like 2,400 plus.
Yeah, without having seen him over that sort of ground. I've got to shout out to Nick Ashman because I remember watching the Foxcatcher boys chat about him before he had that run in Queensland, and Nick Ashman was like, "This is like chips in type stuff." He's like the data, the ratings, the mail coming out about this horse from the Northern Hemisphere. You just he's so well placed. You just have to be on him. I don't know what he ended up jumping, but was it red odds?
No, I think it was about $1.80, but so there's $1.80 shots and then there's $1.80 shots.
$1.80 shots, yeah. But I think he must have had a significant fill up on him that day, and because of that, I was like, well, I'll bet on him now, and I think I got black odds. So shout out Nick Ashman, and geez, he was right. Like, what a horse. I don't know. I feel like just his style of racing is going to hold him in good stead wherever he goes. I want to see him. I want to see him against our best in a Cox Plate to see where he's really at.
Yep.
But so, would I be confident of pegging him? As our best middle distance horse? Probably not yet, but he's super exciting. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Seeples was very impressive as well. Right of the day for me from Craig, just outstanding. And, Craig's in a bit of form. Who wasn't actually too far behind him, I thought, with right of the day was Jamie Mellum on Half Yours. That was just patient, just not going around another horse, just absolutely brained him. And I think you're right as well. Just the more you looked at this horse, this setup for him, the most upside. Needed to win this to get a start in the Melbourne in the Caulfield Cup, rather, in what's going to be. So the intention just had to be there, and mate, we know where the rest of these are at, like Berkshire Breeze, Statuario, like Berkeley Square, Interpretation, Mark Twain, Future History, like they all take their turns, as you said, but this guy, I think, is not even a class above, like half a class above. And given the setup for that day, that occasion, I have no doubt that Half Yours will probably turn into these in future preps.
Maybe. I think 51 kilos in a Caulfield Cup, he's in my numbers, absolutely. And look, if Sir Delius isn't there, then he might even be my top selection. But yeah, great ride by Jamie. Craig's was better because he just took all bad luck out of the equation and had full confidence in the horse. And I'm stoked. Seeples, he's since I backed him in that CS Hayes, he's clearly got a horse with talent. I just wonder where you take him now. Like, do you take him to do you take him to a Golden Eagle, I presume? But what do you take him to before that? Because 1,500 metres for me, maybe a two-rack, 1,600 and then into a Golden Eagle. He's a good horse. Like, to be able to go that quick up front, absorb the pressure, and then just quite comfortably win in what it was like, 7th or 8th start or something like that. Yeah, clearly a Group 1 horse. He'll get better and better. He's a 4-year-old gelding, so big fan. Out of that race, Angel Capital, just too far back, no luck. Absolutely bolted home. I think 1400 though is probably his limit. I think he's definitely got a Group 1 in him. Just don't know when. But yeah, you're right about Jamie on half yours. The intent was there, and I think the intent was also there for Gilded Water in the last. They need to get his rating up. He'll be in a Caulfield Cup. He'll be a $15 to $20 pop. But yeah, is what it is.
Yeah. Thoughts with the connection of Chortle Lane as well. Unfortunately, that horse got put down just through some complications. Just looks like, unfortunately, its leg gave out, which, never like to see. And I think Celine Gaudry was all fine as well. She was walking after, but again, just sucks. Worst part of the game. Unfortunately, it's just, there's no denying how much the connections and the stables and the jockeys and all people involved in racing love these horses and look after them. And, it's more humane to put them down at the track. If they were doing this out in the wild, they'd be suffering for ages. So, no good, but, thoughts with the connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Only other thing I wanted to take out of the race was another Will. Where's he at?
He's spelling now, so he's just not come up this prep. Maybe he's like a mare. Some days you have them, mare informed, and then when they go off the ball, they just fucking go off. And he just hasn't come in this prep. So Jamie Mellon said as much, and she knows that horse better than anyone. So he finished, with Short Lane not finishing second last. Yeah, no good for him. Miss Rombini was really good. I think, don't know what the race is for her. Maybe I could
Empire
be
Rose or...
Yeah, I'm thinking there's the Sun... it's at Moonee Valley. It's not the Sunlight. Who's the other superstar mare with that similar name? It's I think it's... Typically, it could be on the Cox Plate
Sunline.
meeting, or it could be Sunline. Yeah, the Sunline Stakes, Group 2, Way for Age Mile. Now, that could actually be at the Manikato meeting this Friday night, or it could be in the Cox Plate meeting. Mystic Journey won that race.
That's right.
I reckon, a few back in the day. So maybe a race like that. Maybe even a Turak. Turak could be up her alley potentially if she stretches out to the mile. I think the one I texted you about throughout the day, mate, Tiger Shark, honestly, mate, she shows her best when there's a cracking speed on. And she's not out of, a race at a price. She was $6 yesterday. Kind of defied the pattern a little bit. I think the pattern kind of measured out a little bit throughout the day, but she was super impressive, and the riding was on the wall after that first up run as well. So maybe it is a Furphy sprint. Potentially even, I reckon they'll probably go down the Champions Sprint path in the Flemington Carnival, or the Mini Everest in Sydney, because they've travelled that way as well.
Yeah. Yeah, she was good. I didn't end up having a bet in the race because Nadal was scratched, but the one that pissed me off was Estremo. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Boot off John McNeil and get Benny Mellon. That I should have had a bet just purely based on that, but it is what it is. $7. Fuck.
I think we're jumping at Flemington here. So best of luck. But yeah, mate, I think we'll learn a lot from that weekend of racing. I thought Matt Hill's, the call of the day was Matty Hill's call of yum winning.
So good.
With the punters licking their lips. So, but yeah, Drifters, we will be back this Thursday. Likely heading down as we get high level clearance from the powers that be, and but cannot be more excited. Apologies for those who joined the pot. happens every one of those days, but I've no doubt we'll turn it around and we'll give you a hell of a fill-up one day as well. So please don't jump off yet. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday.
Cheer, baby. Go Lions.